Hello everyone, Josh First back at it again with some Epic 7, and today we're going to be talking about something very, I guess interesting. Now, before anybody rages looking at the title of the video and goes crazy, gets down there and hitting the dislike button and just raging out of control, please keep this in mind. I am in no way, absolutely no way saying the game is dying. I just want to kind of give you guys my perspective and kind of analyze the game for what it is and kind of discuss how I've played other games and they've kind of went down the same path and where they are now, especially with the player base. So just keep all that in mind before you guys go any further into the video. And with all that said, I hope you guys do enjoy and be sure to subscribe if you are new as always. So, is Smilegate ruining Epic 7? Are they making critical mistakes and errors already early on in the game? And before some of you say, but the game has only been out a few months, it's still a lot of time for it to grow, it's still early on. We said the same thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is in their second year right now of global release. And they actually have been getting worse and worse and worse. We've also said the same thing about Dokkan Battle, saying that the game is going to get better and better. But it stayed the same. If not, maybe it's gotten worse or stagnant or stale. So that's just some other game companies that have also had a huge following that said the same thing about the games and the game company behind it. But here's the problem. Smilegate actually has a history of doing certain things with their game to kind of make it not so great. They have a couple mobile games available, and they also have, in particularly, one FPS game by the name of Crossfire that Smilegate owns that claims to have 80 million active players, which, trust me, they do not, because if you go play the game right now, a lot of the lobbies are dead. You'll have a hard time finding a full matchmaking party to go in and play some 4-on-4 PvP or whatever, and the game is also full of a lot of hackers. That game has pretty much been abandoned at this point by the company. So there's that, a little bit of quick little backstory on Smilegate. Now, much like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links with Konami, we had a lot of expectations from that game coming in, thinking, okay, it's time for Konami to redeem themselves. And we were hoping that the same thing would happen here with Smilegate with Epic 7. The game looks beautiful. You got to give credit where it's due. The game is absolutely beautiful. It features some amazing animations. I love the backstory that they've put into the game for all the characters. However, there are a plethora of issues that are in the game right now that are starting to really manifest themselves and make themselves really well known to a majority of players, especially after, I'd say, your first month playing the game. Now, early on, you'll notice that playing the game is really fun. You seem like you have a lot of stamina, you have a lot of login stuff, you have a lot of things to do, a lot of story to beat, and all that good stuff. But after about the first month or so, you're going to start noticing quickly that gold will become a major issue. Stamina will become a major issue. Now, I've played many gacha games out there. I mean, this whole channel has basically been gacha games for the most part since its inception a few years ago. So I played a lot of gacha. I've played a lot of games that are pay to win. I've played a lot of games that are free to play that become pay to win. I've played a lot of games that utilize metas that interchange month to month. So I have a lot of experience playing these types of games. And one thing I do note is a gacha game is usually based around the fundamentals of getting a new character, even if it's good or bad, and being able to take them into battle or take them into whatever kind of game you're playing, be it a card game, an RPG, an ARPG, whatever, and enjoy playing with your new unit and have a lot of fun doing so, kind of setting up new team builds, stuff like that. The problem that Epic 7 is currently having that a lot of other games, I mean, there are a few games that do have the issues, kind of like Summoner's War, for example, but there's a lot of other games out there that do not have this issue, and that is, well, when you get your new unit and you don't have all the resources available, you're screwed. So you're kind of being punished as a player pulling a new powerful unit or a new unit in general that you want to try out because of the trial and errors that you have to go through on top of the constant, and I mean constant, levels of RNG. Now, we've talked about the gold and stamina issues in another video, so I'm not going to really dive into that too much. But the fact that every character needs to be awakened, every character needs to have other characters of the same level or a little bit or lower or whatever fed into it for either devotion, which I don't feel like devotion is really a big deal, but like, for example, feeding 4 stars into a 4-star, 5 stars into a 5-star to get it to promote it to the next level, so you can keep additionally adding the stats. And the fact that gear is heavily, and I mean heavily, a main factor in this game, but behind several layers of RNG itself is an issue. So you can't just because you summon the unit, even if it costs you a fortune, or if you got it fully free to play by busting your butt, that is only the first step of being able to actually use the new character that you just got. Unlike some other games where you pull the new unit, you can quickly level it up and then take it in and utilize it. Yeah, there might be still some layers of additional benefits you can get from it later by awakening it or evolving it or giving it prestige or whatever. But for the majority, you can just take it right in and it's useful right off the bat. Not so much in Epic 7. A lot of the characters in Epic 7 need to be awakened before they can even be utilized, some of which need to even be leveled up heavily. Some even need very heavy gear investments, which, having multiple characters in your account, you're going to find yourself using the same gear multiple times, which is going to cost you a fortune in gold in which you do not have. And this is becoming a very big strain on a lot of players. I've even seen whales complaining about this issue. And when whales are complaining about this issue, you know there's a problem. Now, another thing that there is to consider is the fact that they really encourage you to use premium currency, such as your Sky Stones, to actually buy more stamina. Now, in most other gacha games, using premium currency for your summonings to use for stamina, it's a cardinal sin. You'll actually get raged on from people on social media such as Reddit, Facebook, YouTube, etc. for doing something so, well, what would be usually considered idiotic. But in this game, it's kind of the common standard, the common practice, and it's unfortunate because usually using premium currencies for stamina seems a little bit ridiculous. But like I said, it's the common practice here in Epic 7. And it has also become a big and major issue. Now, there are ways you can get bookmarks, but again, that'll lead you to another layer of RNG and a lot of gold being lost in the process as well, especially if you're trying to farm up for certain gear that you may not even be able to afford because the amount of gold you can get is very limited. But like I said, I went into all that in my gold and stamina issue video that I did a few days ago that a lot of you enjoyed, and I'm glad that you enjoyed that. So those are definitely a few things that this game is definitely going down the road of and becoming a very big issue and a very big concern, and kind of like making me feel like this game is going to go into a dark spot, which I really hope that they don't. But it's just starting to go that way, and they're also starting to become very money hungry. If you notice, they're selling a lot of these weird packs that are like $30 to $50 that really do not have that much value to them. I've seen countless YouTubers making videos talking about how these packages are just so bad and to stay away from them. And that's not good for your company, Smilegate, because if YouTubers that are supporting your game that are also spending money, especially ones that are whaling out, and they're telling your player base that these packages are bad to buy, then you're not going to make any money. So you might want to consider starting to make some of these packages a little bit more valuable and worth the price of admission. Because some of these packages are just downright stupid and ridiculous, and they really need to just really rethink their game plan when it comes to marketing this game. Now, there are a few tactics that they could take, as an approach to fixing some of these things, and they also have a big issue with balancing the game. The fact that we've already had several nerfs and buffs to characters in a game that features non-live PvP, and when I mean non-live PvP, I mean there is no actual real player-to-player interaction outside of maybe doing a friend request and accepting it and sending somebody something in the guild via aid. That's about as far as the game really gets with player and player interaction. So the fact that there's even nerfs and buffs on your characters that you're summoning for is a little bit crazy, especially for a game that does not feature anything that really would make one player's experience change for another in a bad or good way because of the lack of actual real-time PvP. But that's just another issue for another day, and we'd probably talk about that sometime down the road. But yeah, that's also another thing. So pretty much your player versus environment the whole way through in this game at that point. So it's very, very unique and different situation that they find themselves in with their track record as well of being very, very greedy and not really dealing with a lot of the balancing issues in some of their other mobile games, especially Crossfire, for crying out loud. It's not a mobile game, but still it is a game under their company's brand. that they are responsible for. So it's very troubling to think that these things could happen, but they're already happening in front of us very, very early on. And the fact that they seem to be power creeping characters rather quickly as well. Like, we got DN, and then they gave us Kisei, and then they gave us Bellona. Right after that, back-to-back banners. That is crazy. Granted, most of that countering will be happening in PvP, but for a lot of people, especially people who actually invest money in this game, PvP is a pretty big factor in the game for them because they want to be competitive. That's why they're spending money. So that could be a very major cause of concern there as well, that your units could be maybe not nerfed or buffed, but power crept pretty early on after spending so many resources to try and pull that unit. Now, you won't see those nerfs as much, in terms of being countered in the PvE elements, such as like Hun or Abyss or stuff like that, because unless Smilegate wants to up the actual difficulties of those set areas, then you really shouldn't see too much of an issue there. But in PvP, you'll definitely notice there are some causes of concern there that that we kind of really need to talk about, because it doesn't appear that they're going to go away anytime soon, and they can actually get worse. So hopefully that does not happen. Like I said, I want to see this game succeed. This game is really, really fun. I love playing it. It's just there's a lot of things that you have to consider for the game and in the game's future, because not everybody can unload hundreds of dollars a day to play this game, or hundreds of dollars a week, or even a month, or even every few months. So you have to definitely consider your how far are you willing to push one direction or another, because your market will really heavily change for the game at that point. You might be you're starting out trying to bring in a lot of the casual players, free-to-play players, with the whales coming in to help support the game. But if you keep going down this route, the game's going to become less free-to-play and less casual, and more just whales. And if you just get the whales, a game cannot succeed on whales alone, because you need that word of mouth. You need that free marketing. You need those free-to-play players and those casual spenders to get on there and voice their opinion and give you the good feedback that you need for the game, because those are going to be the players that are going to be playing your game the hardest, because they have no other choice. So they're going to definitely be giving you all that very, very, very priceless, in my opinion, information and feedback for your game to make it successful and keep it going. And then, of course, you're going to have your whales to help you support the game like every game under the sun. So those are just definitely a few things that I have to really talk about with the game and kind of where they're going. Because I've seen games go down this route before, and it doesn't end well. And I just don't want to see Epic 7 be a 1-year game, 2-year game. I want to see it be one of those very rare 3 to 5 year mobile games that actually succeed, because they actually cater to everyone. They don't have a specific player base that they're trying to cater to. They're trying to cater to everyone. Now, am I saying give everybody free everything? No. No, of course not. A game can't survive off of that. I've worked in game development. I know too well of how that operates. But I'm saying they can definitely make some better improvements and changes, and I hope that they do that soon, because right now they're going down the complete opposite direction. We're already getting very repetitive events. All these side quests are literally cut and dry, copy paste. We've already had the Christmas event. We've already had the New Year's event, which, by the way, will probably be the biggest events we'll have the entire year. And for a lot of people, they were very lackluster, especially the rewards. And it really just kind of was like the turning point. What for me was like, okay, is this game going to go down that path? Because you're thinking, okay, the New Year's event, the Christmas event, they're going to be the biggest, baddest event of the year. And all we got was literally a cut and dry copy and paste event that we've already had 3 or 4 times prior. And it was sad to see. And now here we are still getting the same type of content over and over again, highly repetitive and repeated. And it's a shame. I think big gripes people are having right now is still going to probably always go back to the stamina and gold issue. Definitely a big concern, especially the whole unequipped, equipped for gold. Like, that's just ridiculous. That needs to go. That's a quick change that they can make. That will not hurt them at all in sales or anything like that. That might even encourage more people to buy your gold packs, because then they won't have to use that gold to unequip and equip armor. Instead, they'll be able to go and use it to reset the secret shop, the bartender, to try and get some better gear that they really, really need. And if some of you have seen the marketplace, like the actual merchant, rather, his prices are in the several hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, why is that even a thing? We did the math. If you bought gold packs alone, it would take you like anywhere from 10 to 20,000 plus US dollars to get those weapons. So why are those even in the shop when they're not? Some of them aren't even really all that great. And you're buying a weapon that has substats that are also RNG based on top of that. Oh, so definitely some weird things going on with the game that I hope that they would change in the future to make the game definitely better for everyone, not just for a select player base, but for everyone in general, including themselves. They have more money to be made here. I think they're leaving a lot of it on the table. I think they need to kind of go back, kind of rethink their process, their marketing, because they cannot sustain what they're doing now with the type of player base that they're trying to market to. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't hold up. The numbers just don't support it. And it's unfortunate, so I hope they definitely make some big changes soon, because I really don't want this to be another Duel Links. I don't want to see this become another a game where it starts out strong and just dies off, like a Knights Chronicles, for example, how they completely screwed over their player base. I don't want to see that, because these are games that started out really amazing, had a big following, and then just fell flat. I just hope that Smilegate can definitely improve. Hopefully they can see this video. I tried to keep this not non-vulgar. I tried to not make this like an angry rant. I tried to make this more of a perspective-based discussion with all of you. Let me know your thoughts and comments below, and I'd be glad to read them on what you guys think about this situation. Do you guys think that the game is going down a dark path? What do you guys think? Do you feel like that Smilegate will turn things around and make big changes? And do you think it will happen soon? I mean, you guys let me know in the comment section below. I'll be glad to read those. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much the video for today. I just kind of wanted to sit here and take a moment to kind of like, collect my thoughts with all of you and kind of think, hey, is Smilegate ruining their own product? Are changes needed, and will they happen? So that's kind of the questions I have for you to answer if you'd like to. And again, I'll be glad to read them. Be sure to subscribe if you're new. Comment below, of course. Find us in the Discord below in the description. We've got a lot of people in there pretty active in our Discord about Epic 7, so pretty cool there. Hope you guys are also enjoying the Ragnarok M content that will be coming as well. I've been grinding all night. And yeah, and anime reviews are a little bit delayed, but they will be coming soon, I promise. I've been backed up because I was sick for a few days, but anyways, hope you guys all enjoyed, and I will catch you guys on the next one. And get out there and grind up those characters rather, and have a lot of fun, hopefully, in the process. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.